Hey guys, today we'll discuss comparing with good and bad. Adjectives are often used to make comparison. Adjectives that compare tell how people, places, or things are alike or different. The different forms are called degrees of comparison. We have 3 degrees of comparison: positive, comparative, and superlative. An adjective that does not make a comparison is a positive degree. In other words, the positive degree is the normal form of an adjective. So adjective good and bad is a positive degree of comparison. Comparative is the form of an adjective involving a comparison of more or less. So better and worse is a comparative form of good and bad. Comparative adjectives compare one person or thing with another and enable us to say whether a person or thing has more or less of a particular quality. To compare 3 or more people or things, use superlative degree. A superlative degree compares a person or thing with the whole group of which that person or thing is a member. Best and worst is the superlative degree of good and bad. Comparative form of good is better and comparative form of bad is worse. Superlative form of good is best. Superlative form of bad is worst. I hope you have noticed adjectives good and bad have irregular forms when used as comparative and superlative. The comparative forms are better and worse, while superlative forms are best and worst. We are not adding er to create comparative degree and est to create superlative degree. In irregular adjectives, whole new word is used. Let's see examples. Today is a good day for outdoor games. In this sentence, speaker is using good. As I have told you, good is the positive form of comparison. So in this sentence, speaker is not comparing today with any other day. Speaker is just describing today. Therefore, speaker is using adjective good. Good is the basic form of an adjective. So this is a positive degree of comparison. And in positive degree, an adjective does not make a comparison. Next example, a cat makes a better pet than a dog. In this sentence, speaker is using better because speaker is comparing cat with dog. Better is used to compare two people, places, or things. So this is a comparative degree. Comparative adjectives are used to compare difference between the two objects they modify. So in this sentence, two nouns are compared: cat and dog. So better is comparative degree of good, and we are not adding er to create comparative degree. Next example, a parrot makes the best pet of all. Best. In this sentence, speaker is using best, and best is the superlative form of good. As I have mentioned before, good have irregular form of comparison. Best is the superlative form of good. We are not adding est to create superlative degree. Whole new word is used. So in this sentence, speaker is comparing parrots with all possible options of pet. Next example, the rain brought bad weather. In this sentence, speaker is using bad. Adjective bad is a positive form of comparison. When a speaker uses bad, it means he's not comparing two things or places. Speaker is describing one thing without comparing it with another. Last Monday's weather was worse than yesterday's. Now in this sentence, speaker is comparing last Monday's weather with yesterday's weather. So this is a comparative degree. Adjective worse is comparative form of bad. Adjective bad is an irregular adjective. That's why we do not add er to create comparative degree. Whole new word is used. Worse. Comparison is in between two things. So use worse to create comparative degree. Next example. The ice storm. Storm. Next example. Next example. The ice storm brought the worst weather of all. Worst. Use worst to compare more than two people, places, or things. Use worst to compare more than two people, places, or things. This is a superlative form of bad. So bad is irregular verb. So bad is irregular adjective. So we are not adding est to create comparative or superlative degree. Bad is irregular adjective. That's why we are not adding er to create comparative degree or est to create superlative degree. Whole new word is used. So worst is a superlative degree. In this sentence, speaker is comparing ice storm with whole kind of weather. Next example. The ice storm brought the worst weather of all. Use worst to compare more than two people, places, or things. Worst is a superlative degree of bad, and bad is an irregular adjective. That's why we will not add est to create superlative degree. Whole new word is used. So, speaker is comparing ice storm, describing low limit of quality. Worst. Do not use er or est or more or most when comparing with good and bad. Let's see examples. This year's parade is gooder than last year's. As I have already mentioned, the comparative degree of good is not gooder. We do not add er to create comparative degree of good to compare two people, places, or things. This sentence is grammatically wrong. Comparative form of good is better. Correct sentence will be, this year's parade is better than last year's. Next example. This year's parade is more better than last year's. This kind of comparison is called double comparison. So grammatically, this sentence is wrong. Please avoid double comparison. Do not use more or most when comparing with good and bad. Next example. Joe's idea was more better than mine. Again, double comparison. Next example. Daniel did a worse job than I did. Now worse with er. This is wrong. Do not add er or est to create comparative or superlative degree with good and bad. Worse is a comparative degree of bad. So we do not add er. This sentence is grammatical wrong. Worse is already comparative degree of bad. We will not add er to create comparative form of bad. So this sentence is grammatically wrong. There is no worser. Do not use er or est or more or most when comparing with good and bad. I hope it's clear.